Hello everybody, Gleason Martins here. I'm here today at this beautiful and iconic theater in San Jose, the Hammer Theater. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this interview. And next to me is the mayor of San Jose, Matt Mahan, and Carrie Adams Hapner. She's the director of the Office of Cultural Affairs for the capital of Silicon Valley. And we are talking about games, Super Bowl, FIFA, and much more fun to come in San Jose. Welcome to this beautiful theater.
Thank you, Gleason. Welcome to Hammer Theater. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. So, Mayor, let me start with you. So, are there any assumptions about economic growth this year that you think need to be rethinking?
Well, one of the trends that we've seen that is very relevant as we head into Super Bowl, March Madness, and World Cup is that the experience economy, as we call it, is really driving our downtown forward. When we look at cell phone data and where there's foot traffic and sales tax data, what we're seeing is a really fascinating post-pandemic trend. During the day, Monday through Friday, the office workers are slowly coming back, but we haven't fully recovered. We're at about 85% of our pre-pandemic levels of foot traffic. Sales tax is better. But then nights and weekends is a totally different story. If you look in the evening and over the weekend, we're at 120% of pre-pandemic levels. And what that says to me is people are hungering for unique social and cultural experiences with other human beings. That's something you can't recreate over Zoom. And
Absolutely.
So as much as I love Zoom, headquartered here in downtown San Jose, people want those unique in-person experiences, and that's something a downtown, like our downtown, is really well positioned to provide.
Carrie, talk to me about the experiences that the mayor was talking about that the Office of Cultural Affairs are preparing for the visitors.
Thank you, Gleason. It's such a pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you.
In the Office of Cultural Affairs, it is our primary role to really champion the arts and cultural sector in San Jose. And we do that through a number of different ways, through grants, outdoor special events, public art. So we are going all in for 2026 and all that it offers. And I'll just, add a little bit more to the experience economy and talk about the arts, the nonprofit arts sector alone, and that it generates approximately $300 million in annual economic impact and supports almost 5,000 jobs. So that's a really important, role for the arts and culture to play. And I would also add, when you go and you travel to another city, what is it that you want to do? You want to experience the unique cultural opportunities in that city or that destination. So that's really what we are doubling down on for 2026.
Wow. Well, let's talk about these outcomes. What metrics matter most beyond the GDP or job creation in San Jose for you?
Well, when I think about what makes San Jose such a special city, I think of the work of Harvard economist Raj Chetty, who studied economic mobility in America over a long stretch of time and found that the San Jose metro area was the #1 metro in the country for upward mobility, meaning if you were born into a household in the bottom quintile of income, you have the greatest probability of moving up to the top. And so by that measure of mobility, are people moving up? And really, that's the American dream. If you want to really, summarize it, it's the idea that if you play by the rules and work hard, that you can build a better life, not just for yourself, but particularly for the next generation. And that's something that we're very proud to continue to have here. I think it's due to our strong civic engagement. It's due to our innovation economy, the incredible entrepreneurship, the immigrant community, many immigrant communities, I should say, because we're an incredibly welcoming and inclusive city. Over 40% of our residents are foreign born. Over 50% speak a language other than English at home. These are all ingredients that make us a place with a lot of economic opportunity and upward mobility, but we shouldn't be complacent about it. We've become victims of our own success. In fact, it's such a great place to be that we attract so many people that we've struggled to build the housing we need to ensure that everyone can share in the opportunity here. And so that's why we focused a lot, in my time as mayor at least, on removing barriers to building the housing that we need. So it's a never-ending problem. It's a very dynamic space.
Yeah, it's not going to end, but at least you guys are on the right track of building
We're
places
seeing
for people to
progress.
live. Yeah.
We're very proud of becoming the safest big city in the country. We're leading the state in reducing unsheltered homelessness, and we are starting to see home building increase, and that's a key ingredient for economic opportunity.
Kerry, out of this 40% of foreigners living in San Jose, that comes also generates a different attraction for visitors, and not only visitors, residents as well. Local artists bring nice products, nice arts for the visitors.
Absolutely. And just, building off of what the mayor had just shared, one of the outcomes I really seek to advance in San Jose is a sense of pride, and that's a pride of place. It's also where the arts are at the heart of it, where, thinking about you have such a diverse, our residents are so diverse. And so how do you build pride and cross-cultural understanding? And one of the main ways to do that is through the arts.
Yeah.
So when I go to Japantown and I visit the Obon Festival, I'm learning about Japanese heritage. And you can say that across so many different types of cultural experiences. And also having that upward mobility for our creative entrepreneurs and our arts community, so that this is a place where artists can live and work and sustain a good life. So those are some of the goals that we have here in the city of San Jose and the Office of Cultural Affairs.
Bring those events to San Jose area, boost the economy, not only for locals around the region, right? So, but I'm going to start with you, Mayor, and then I want to hear your opinion too, but how personal for you those big events help to do your job?
Well, they can be big accelerators of our progress, but it isn't just the economic impact. That's significant, and we are investing up front to ensure that we have plenty for people to do around these big events, particularly this year with Super Bowl and World Cup. We want to make sure people know that they can fly, stay, and play in San Jose, as our tagline has been, because of the economic impact. But it's more than that. It is also about civic pride. It's about celebrating where we live. I saw this firsthand last year. I had the opportunity to go to New Orleans to receive the football from New Orleans mayor as we bring the Super Bowl here, and just seeing that energy, the excitement, a break from normal routine, and people being able to be out in the streets, listening to music, eating food, sharing their culture. Everyone was so welcoming, so excited to share with us the history, the food, the music, the culture. Obviously, New Orleans is very rich in those things, but so are we. And I'm so proud of our city. We're a very unique place, whether it's our roots in technology or agriculture or just the immense cultural diversity we have in our city today and all the incredible food and arts and culture that we have. We want to celebrate that, and that's part of the lasting impact, is building community, building civic pride, making sure everyone can participate. One of the things we've done as we've prepared for this year is go to our local employers, and the city was the first in. We put in the seed money to do this, but we've now gotten a number of local employers to contribute to a fund. It's about $5 million for putting on concerts, drone shows, food trucks, outdoor festivals and art, and really trying to make sure that these events are not exclusive. Because the truth is, most of us cannot afford a ticket to the big game. And even if we all could, the stadium only holds 70,000 people. We've got 1 million people in San Jose. So we want to make sure that everyone feels like they were part of the celebration. They were able to experience what makes San Jose so special and share that with others. And that's really been our guiding mission as we've thought about this big year ahead of us.
And for you, Kerry?
I love everything that the mayor just shared, and I will maybe hone in on two of the key things that he said. And one is around participation. We want people to be actively participating and also curating their own experience, so that if they come to San Jose, there's a range of things that they can do, and it can be a uniquely individual experience that they are curating. And I think the other point that he said very well is around connection. So that when people come to San Jose, they have the ability to connect with themselves, to connect with others, maybe new friends and old friends or their family, but also connect to place. We want people to connect to San Jose.
Talk about safety, because this is on the news all the time.
Yeah.
It's important for people to feel safe when they come to March Madness, for the FIFA games, for Super Bowl. How are you preparing for this?
Well, safety is so foundational. I believe it is our number one responsibility in government. Part of our reason for having a government is to make everyone safe so that people can thrive and be creative and start businesses. So we take it very seriously. In fact, San Jose recently reclaimed its title as the safest big city in the country after a long drought of we're always a relatively safe city, but we're proud to be the safest. In fact, year over year, we've seen a 15% reduction in crime.
Crimes.
We're the only big city in the country that solved 100% of homicides nearly 4 years in a row. It helps that we don't have very many. We have a great police department. We really take seriously the ethos of community policing, having officers and all of our first responders be from the community, get to know the community, be embedded in the community, work with small business owners, school leaders, and really know what's going on in each neighborhood. And it's part of why we're so safe. For these large events in particular, we're lucky to have some supplemental funding from federal and state resources, both in terms of their officers as well as actual funding. Around the stadium itself, of course, there'll be a secure zone that will have strict access control, but we're ready. Downtown, we'll have mini events. Our Superfest near San Pedro Square will be safe. We have officers who will be out there interacting with people, eyes and ears on the street. And we're going to make sure everybody can celebrate what makes San Jose special in a fun and safe way.
And if you haven't come to San Pedro Square, I recommend it. It's really fun to be there in a summer afternoon.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, man, for the time.
Thank you. It was a
Carrie,
pleasure.
nice to see you
Always a
always.
pleasure.
Thank you so
Thank
much. Happy
you.
New Year for both
Thank
of
you.
you.
Happy
A big
New
year
Year.
for San Jose.
Big year. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And thank
Appreciate
you so
it.
much for watching. We'll see you next time. This segment is provided by Hammer Center Theater.